All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Hey, this is Dwayne Stein, and Mortgage Gumbo presents. So excited to have in studio today Candy Modeen, president of NABOR. She's also a broker for RE/MAX North Lake Associates in Covington. And Candy, thank you so much for joining us today. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Excited to have you in here. Congratulations on the presidency of NABOR. I'm excited for that. We're going to talk about just the benefits of NABOR in a little bit. But before we do that, I really just wanted to chat with you. I know your story, but I think it's important for my listeners to understand, hey, how we got where we're at, right? So kind of talk about your brokerage and more importantly, let's take us down memory lane. We don't need to go back to when you were a little girl cheerleader, right? You know, but
Gold and blue.
There you go. So take us back to how did you get into the real estate industry and on the real estate side of everything?
I'll try to bring that into a short synopsis, but my background is in marketing and graphic design. That was my degree from LSU. Got married, started having children. And in the meantime, my mother started a second career in real estate and was doing terrific. And when I was pregnant with my second, which is 25 years this year ago, she said, look, we're busy and we need help. So come on board. And it was a way for me to earn some money and not work full time and put my daughter in daycare. So that's basically where it started. I started part-time and we just grew and grew and grew. So let's say in 2001, my mom was one of the founders of RE/MAX North Lake Associates in Covington. She was with a RE/MAX brokerage in Mandeville and really wanted her own franchise because that's where our little wheelhouse is. That's where we grew up and where we still live. And opened the brokerage in 2001, started adding agents, have grown. I received my broker's license in 2006. And basically, that's our story today. RE/MAX North Lake Associates in Covington, we have 16 realtors. And they're all rock stars. Yeah. And we call ourselves a small but mighty boutique brokerage. And very happy with what's going on, and just it's a great spot, a great place to be.
And the 16 realtors that you've got, and which is an awesome accomplishment, right? Anytime you get people to come work, I don't say for you, but with you, right?
Correct.
When it's yours.
Absolutely.
But your business is, like you said, Mom started it, and even to this day, it's family, right?
It is. So I'm co-owner of RE/MAX North Lake with my sister Melody Bruce. And we also have our own real estate team, which is myself, Melody, and Melody's daughter, Kate Friedman. So our team is family, but truly our whole brokerage is family. While we're not physically related to everybody else, we are like a family. We operate like a family, and that's the way it's going to remain and continue.
So let me ask you this. 2022, a challenging year if you compare it to 20 and 21.
Correct.
Right? So in your opinion, sort of what did you see as a broker, right? As running a business? What were some of the, I guess, challenges, and then where do you see where things are, in your opinion, sort of heading, and what the expectation is as we move forward? Because I try to tell folks, I don't look back on 20 and 21 and compare. I'm looking back to like 2019. How did we do in 2022 compared to 2019, right? Before the giveaways and the oasis and the mirage of these 2.5% rates, right? So kind of how did you manage through those challenges or obstacles, and kind of talk about that for us?
So 2022 started off with a bang because we were rolling from 2021 and it was going along great. And our biggest challenge, and it's still our challenge today, is inventory. Yeah. So that has not gone away. We are, while there might be a few more houses on the market, we are way, way low below what is an average inventory base for our area. And then, as you said, when the mortgage rates sort of took their little bit of a jump, what happened is buyers were sort of just, it was a little bit of a sticker shock for them because they had a certain expectation at a low rate. And then when that expectation, or when the rates went up, that expectation had to be brought down to a more realistic level. But, you know, anytime you have an agent who is very transparent with their buyers and their sellers, but sort of walk them through the paces, make sure they know realistically what they can afford and what, if you focus on the location and knowing the value that will bring over time, real estate is still the most amazing investment out there. Nothing beats it.
Nothing.
And so if you find the right place, it might not be your dream home, but it's a step towards that dream home. So while 2020 took a little bit of a pause, you know, right when late spring, early summer, you know, it still kept rolling because every day people need to sell, people need to buy. So if you just stay relevant in the market and in touch with people, you're gonna be successful. And our brokerage ended up doing, you know, a great 2022. We can't complain. 2023, you know, I'm a very positive person.
Sure.
I'm very optimistic naturally.
Right.
And because this is my 25th year in real estate, I have seen the roller coaster ride. I've been on the roller coaster ride.
Right.
And this is just a little bit of a piece of that ride. It's going to play out as it's going to play out. But again, we like to say we live in a world of abundance, and that is a RE/MAX term that if you just remind yourself you live in a world of abundance, you're going to be able to make a good living in this business as long as you treat your people right and you're ethical and you work hard.
Yeah. And you always, and I think that is awesome what you're saying, a world of abundance, because, you know, as an owner of my business as well, what we try to explain is, while I want to do every loan, I'm never going to do the wrong thing on one. I mean, you know, so you've got to make sure that you're always looking out for that client. And I think now more than ever is the education piece, right?
Yes.
Explaining to people, because look, people don't want to see 6% interest rates. They don't, but they are. So you still got to explain that affordability. And I think the other thing, Candy, too, is, you know, there's this saying, you know, hey, marry the house, date the rate. And look, I'm now doing refinances for people I did in 2020 who had 3.25%, because at the end of the day, when times are hard, people borrow money, and when times are good, people borrow money.
Correct.
And, you know, as we've discussed, also, you have people that want to buy are like, hey, they understand, like you said, home ownership's sort of a stepping stone to proving wealth and growing wealth. And I think those are the things. And, you know, the inventory, I don't know how quickly that's going to come back. I think that's going to continue to be a challenge in 2023, right?
Yes.
I mean, you know, I'm not selling my 2.5% interest rate house, you know, and one of the things I found, and we've been discussing on Mortgage Gumbo, is at the end of the day, you're looking at, you know, death, divorce, or distance, relocation, right, for your sellers.
Yes.
Right? And I mean, those are what I'm seeing when people are selling, because I talk to the listing agent and go, hey, you know, hey, chatting with them, getting to know them. And I think those are the biggest things. So it's keeping folks, like you said, educated and making sure that they understand. I mean, this is not buying a house. I tell people all the time, it's not like buying gumballs. Put a quarter in. You want the blue one, but the red one comes out, right? So let's try again. It's finding that person and that relationship. And I know, you know, with RE/MAX Northlake Associates, y'all do an amazing job over there. That's for sure. So let's sort of pivot on, you know, and discuss. Number one, congratulations, president of NABOR.
Thank you.
That's amazing. You know, that shows, in my opinion, that shows a trust that people have in you to have them represent you. So let's get that out the way. So, but with that being said, what I want to find out, and for listeners, is what is NABOR?
Well, first of all, NABOR stands for North Shore Area Board of Realtors.
Okay.
So we are a realtor association, one of 10 in the state of Louisiana, and these are all regional associations. We're under the umbrella of our state association, Louisiana Realtors, which is under the umbrella of the National Association of Realtors. So to be a real estate agent, you don't have to become a realtor, and it's different. So a real estate agent is not the same as a realtor.
Yes.
A realtor is a real estate agent who is a member of the National Association of Realtors. That's where they get that name. That's where that trademark is. It's a trademark of the National Association of Realtors. And why that is so important is because we are bound by a code of ethics that goes above and beyond what is normal and typical. Which I think is probably the best thing that any consumer or would want, and to just kind of reach out to, is someone who actually has to follow that code of ethics. Because if you don't, you get called to the carpet and you get in trouble and you get fined and you might get your license taken away. And there's definitely repercussions for doing the wrong thing, which there should be.
Sure.
But so NABOR is a group. Our association represents 3 parishes, which is St. Tammany Parish, Tangipahoa Parish, and Washington Parish. So as the representative for the realtors in those tri-parishes, we really sort of focus on the needs and whatever is going on within our tri-parish area, because it's different. Our needs are different than other parishes.
Right.
Our legislation is different. Our growth is different. So, that's where we really focus on. And really, truly, NABOR's mission is just to really support the realtors in this area to make sure that they can be successful in their businesses, that we're providing some tools to help them do that.
So let's review again, because I think you hit on something there that I try to explain to my buyers, is the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent, because it is so much. So kind of touch on that again, if you don't mind, because I want my audience to understand, and they should be asking that question.
Yes.
Of, it's just like working with me versus a bank. There's a tremendous difference. There's just all the education and held to a standard that's different than me going out this weekend passing a test.
Correct.
Right? So kind of chat,
Sure.
just give me a little bit more on that, if you don't mind, because I think that's important.
It is, and I'm glad you're asking me a little more in depth about that. So to be a real estate agent means that you've passed a test. You've taken a course, and you've qualified to take the test for the state to become a licensed real estate agent. That's through our Louisiana Real Estate Commission. There's a certain amount of hours and there's fees. You pass the test and you get a real estate license. So from there, you're not obligated to become a member of the National Association of Realtors. That is something that you do because you want to push it to a higher level, basically. Now, if I had to guess, Dwayne, how many real estate agents are working in our area without being a member of the National Association of Realtors, it's low.
Yeah.
It's low.
Yeah.
There are some people who have their license and they, maybe do 1 or 2 transactions a year and feel like they don't need the support or the umbrella of the National Association of Realtors. But what is amazing is that, again, the code of ethics, which is, a huge, it's not just do unto others as they would do unto you. It goes beyond that. And it covers not just the public, the ethics related to the public. It covers ethics related to each realtor to realtor.
Yeah.
So it's very, it's a very big, broad scope of making sure that you're doing the right thing. You're doing the honest thing, the ethical thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what it boils down to. And most brokerages are part of that National Association of Realtors, hands down. And so it just kind of, it makes you very accountable.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's such from a professionalism, to me, it shows me that I'm dealing with somebody as a lender who is making a career out of this versus a job. And if this doesn't work out, once I run out of my grandma and my aunt and my sister to help buy a house, then what, right? And, so those are the things. And I think for me as a lender in 2022, that's what I've seen that has changed so much is so many people jumped in 20 and 21, and the kind of rollover into 2022, these contracts that I see are just – and it's unfortunate because then when you try to explain to the buyer, because, Candy, what I look at is the return of my money is more important than return on my money. So when I'm going over contracts with you or one of your realtors or my other realtors, we're always looking at, hey, what are our outs if something, and that's where you have, your inspections, you have all those contingencies.
Correct.
And when I see some of these, they just don't offer that. So I think that's very important there. So great stuff. Let me ask you this. So you kind of touched on it, but I'd like for you to go NABOR's purpose, right? So you're the president of a tri-parish area. Again, that's St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, and Washington Parish. So your purpose, right, for NABOR is to provide what, right?
Okay, yeah, that's great. So support, education. There are many NABOR benefits. I would say. One of the greatest things that I think we offer is education. Last year, we had 72 hours of live continuing education offered free for our members. So we don't charge for that. That is provided for free thanks to our amazing affiliates that are very supportive of our association and our membership. So education. As simple as, hey, this is going on. This is something that the parish, either Tangipahoa, Washington, or St. Tammany, is happening. This is what you need to be aware of. Anything that is related to real estate that might be anti-real estate or unfriendly to real estate, whether it's for the consumer or for the agent and brokerage, everybody needs to make sure that property rights remain the way that they should be, or they're intended, and not taken away, because that's going to damage us and our profession, but it's also really damaging our clients and our consumers. And then, of course, we're personally part of that too. We do a ton of networking events. So, it's really important for agents to be with other agents. Yes. Doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. We can lift each other up. We can hold each other up, and that's what we should be doing. And that's really what we strive to do at NABOR is, it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. I mean, you're going to be dealing with agents. You want a great relationship with the other agent you're dealing with. Makes for a smooth transaction. We call it a win-win. Everybody's happy. Right. So besides networking, we do a yearly awards program. So we recognize our agents' hard work. And that is something that we've always been very proud of at NABOR. This year it'll be held in March, and we're super excited. We've been doing this awards gala for many, many years. And a lot goes behind the scenes to make this a really special event to recognize the hard work of our realtor members. So that's an exciting thing. And then there's all kinds of other little trickle-down events, that are sort of overseen by the state that we get involved in. One thing I do really am going to promote a lot this year is a Realtor Day in Baton Rouge, and it's the State Realtor Day where you go to the go to the Capitol.
Awesome.
You meet with legislators in your area. The state will tell you, hey, these are a few bills that are coming up. These are things we support, or these are things that we don't support.
Yeah.
And so we have the opportunity to meet one-on-one with our legislators and talk about these things. And then at the end, we have a great big crawfish bowl. They all come hang out. We hang out with each other. It's a great networking opportunity.
Absolutely.
So I always say, and this year it's going to be on my birthday, so I'm going to expect a big party.
It's a party for you. Absolutely. Hey, you only turn 21 every so
right.
often, right?
That's right.
All right. So, and lastly, so I guess my question is, my gosh, support, education. Who and why, right? If you're making, as the president, your elevator pitch, so to speak, who and why should join you and NABOR?
So that's easy answer. If you live and work on the North Shore, meaning when I say North Shore, I'm saying our tri-parish area,
Yep.
St. Tammany, Tangipahoa, Washington Parish. If that is where your business is and that's where you live, what we say live, work, and worship, you should be a member of NABOR, because that is, you're within our hearts, so to speak, because we want everything that's going to be good for your business and good for our communities to be part of what we do and what we offer and what we really focus on.
Well, and I think, listen, I think at the end of the day, groups like NABOR who are promoting and supporting each other, it helps make everything as a lender too, when you know those realtors and getting to the table, right? And at the end of the day, our business only works when the customer is put at the top of the priority list. And
Absolutely.
these are the ways that you can do that, by joining NABOR. So listen, it's up on the screen, but Candy Modeen, president of NABOR, North Shore Association Board of Realtors, also broker of RE/MAX Northlake Associates. You could go to nabors.org, nabors.org, to check that out, right? Or 985-674-4233. Candy, I appreciate it. Hey, I know the new year's off and running, busy. So glad we were able to get you in here. Hey, I look forward to being an affiliate with you guys, and anything we need to do moving forward. Feel free. Mortgage Gumbo's more than happy to be there for you to get a message out.
We're thrilled to be here. Thank you for this opportunity, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.